How can we take the essential teachings of Vedanta and make it accessible and approachable for the modern world? How can we make use of the principles of the ancient Upanishads to consciously create a life of holistic abundance and live a life of fulfillment? This has been a quest in my own life from the last few years, and our private community, the Adhvaitha Conscious Society, and a lot of work that we do through this channel is about conscious creation. Today, I'm revealing something which is very profound. Today, we will look at the Conscious Creation Codex and the 9 pillars of the Conscious Creation Codex. And if you truly master these 9 pillars, the entire reality will be yours and you can achieve whatever it is that you wish to achieve in this world. And not only that, you will finally understand the true essence of reality. Now, this Conscious Creation Codex is the primary framework, and this is what we explore and we teach in the advanced 6 weeks program that we call the Conscious Creation Blueprint. But right now, we are opening this up for everyone and we are sharing this with everyone so that everyone may get some value out of it. This video is about the overview of the 9 pillars of the Conscious Creation Codex. And if you find value in this and if you wish to pursue this further, you can check in the description for how you can access the entire 6-week program and join us at the awake level of the Adhvaitha Conscious Society. Now let's start with the state of the world today. The world is full of unconsciousness. The world and the majority of society are unconscious. And the results of this unconscious living is the unfulfilled life, is the mental health issues, is the lack of clarity, purpose, and holistic abundance in the world. So everything stems from unconsciousness. We will understand how this is throughout this masterclass. And this was the reason and the starting point for the Adhvaitha Conscious Society. This is why I felt compelled to start ACS. The goal for us with this masterclass and with ACS is to achieve absolute clarity, fulfillment, and holistic abundance in all areas of our life. This is what all of us seek. Fulfillment, abundance, and joy is what all of us seek. And the Adhvaitha was started with a mission to awaken more than 1 billion individuals to the infinite potential within and enable them to achieve absolute clarity, fulfillment, and holistic abundance through conscious creation based on the ancient principles of Vedanta. So this is our mission. And before we go ahead, let me cover some ground rules here. First of all, I will promise to keep this short to the point and as valuable for you as possible. So I will try to manage this masterclass between 40-45 minutes in that range. So have no distractions. If you have any other engagements, just pause this here, save the link, and you can come back to this later on. So have no distractions and make sure to watch this till the end, because watching this halfway will not do any justice to it, and nor will you be able to derive any value out of it. And also we'll have some valuable resources for you that you can access for free at the end. Before we go ahead, let us start with the ACS code. This is the code by which the Adhvaitha Conscious Society members live by. This is ACS code. Code 1 is consciousness. I am the infinite consciousness. I am beyond body and mind, and in my essence, I am infinite. The second code is responsibility. My life is my responsibility. I am where I am because of me. Code 3 is acceptance. I accept this moment as it is completely. Code 4 is authenticity. I follow my own path in life. Code 5 is adaptability. I'm flexible and I adapt to live my ideal life. Code 6 is love. I radiate love towards all and I recognize the oneness in all. So this is the ACS code. Just think about how it feels and how it sits within your awareness. See whether this truth resonates with you at some level. Now, with this, let us come to the 4 stages of evolution. Now, all of us who are on this journey of self improvement and personal development, we go through these 4 stages. And this is what I went through in my own life. And I will explain to you what this is all about. At first, the majority of the population, even till today, is in unconscious living. They wake up, they go to work, they come back, they go to sleep, and they repeat an unconscious cycle. Most people don't think about why they are doing things the way that they are doing, and they will not question the conditioning with which they are making their decisions. This is where all of us start. And as we begin the journey of personal development and self improvement, we find different teachings. In my initial days, I found many books and teachings on personal development, on law of attraction, on manifestation, like Think and Grow Rich, Ask and It Is Given, and many others. This is when we are still unconscious, but now we are empowered with the knowledge that our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, and our personality has a role to play in the personal reality that we create. And we go to these different seminars, we read different books, and we begin to create our lives by these principles of law of attraction, etc. And we begin to attract different results in our life. But according to me, this can be dangerous, because for a person who is unconscious, who doesn't understand the nature of reality, empowering such a person with the tools of law of attraction, etc., can be dangerous, because an unconscious person creates unconsciously. Whatever he creates might be dangerous for himself and to the society as a whole. And after this, once we understand the deeper truths of reality, once we begin to understand what reality actually is, in my case, I came across the teachings of ancient Adhvaitha Vedanta. After almost a decade of searching and learning from different philosophies of manifestation, of law of attraction, personal development, etc., and since none of it quenched my thirst, I slowly came to the teachings of the Upanishads and ancient Advaita Vedanta. So this is when I understood the reality for what it is. And this is when my journey of conscious living started. And through conscious living and through the understanding of what reality is, what consciousness is, who I am in my essence, then when I began to create my reality consciously, that is when my journey of conscious creation started. So at the unconscious level, a person is totally unconscious. At the unconscious creation level, which is level 2, a person has access to the teachings of personal development, self-improvement, law of attraction, etc. But he is still unconscious. He doesn't understand the deeper truths of reality. He doesn't understand Brahma, Karma, Dharma, Marma, the essence of reality. And he simply creates from the place of unconsciousness. This, even though it may work during some times, it will not bring us ultimate fulfillment and clarity in life. So we must strive to understand the deeper truth of reality and begin to live consciously and then create consciously. This is conscious creation. Now let us understand what is the nature of reality, and let us understand what conscious creation actually means. Now, many people think destiny is fixed. Many people think that everything is written and there is nothing they can do about it. And it is true to a certain extent. Then there are some people who believe that action creates reality. They are obsessed with working hard. They are obsessed with doing whatever it takes in order to manifest certain results in their lives. Now, even this is true to a certain extent. Each of these are truths, but they are lower truths. We will understand the higher truths soon. And then some people believe in the principles like law of attraction, manifestation, etc. And they understand that their thoughts, feelings, beliefs create reality. Now, even this is true, but each of these truths are relative truths. They are not absolute, and they are lower truths. If a person thinks his destiny is fixed and there is nothing that he can do about it, of course, for him, because of his karmic momentum, his destiny is fixed. And for a person who believes that action creates reality, to a certain extent, because of hard work and because of persistence and because of the principles of Kriya Mana Karma, a person can, in fact, take control of a part of his reality, at least some aspect of it. Then even law of attraction is true. When we begin to consciously instill positive thoughts, feelings, beliefs, etc., obviously our reality will begin to reflect it. But conscious creation is a higher truth. It is beyond all this. Conscious creation is first about understanding the ancient principles on reality. It is about understanding the truth of Adhvaitha Vedanta. And the same truth, if we look for it, can be found in almost every religion across the world. So these are the two truths of Vedanta. Number one, infinitude of self. What Vedanta says is that in our essence, we are infinite and everything that we are seeking is within us. In fact, the Ashtavakra Gita says the entire universe is a manifestation within our consciousness, within consciousness. So, this is the infinitude of self. Of course, if you're listening to this for the first time, it might not make a lot of sense, but this is talking about the infinite potential within you, and it is talking about how the source of joy, fulfillment, and abundance is actually within you. And the second principle is about the oneness in all. Advaita Vedanta also says that we are all one at the deepest level. Of course, our bodies are different, our minds are different, our personalities are different, but the consciousness that we are, that each of us are, is one and the same. So, although we perceive duality, it is not ultimately true. This is the truth of Vedanta. Once we understand this, everything changes. And I will explain to you how. Once you understand that you in your essence are infinite and there is nothing outside of you that can fulfill you, and everything that you're seeking is actually within you, then obviously all the striving, all the stress, all the anxiety, and all the craving will stop forever, because you will realize that I am full within myself. And when you understand the oneness in all the competition, all the comparison, all the what someone else thinks of you, all these things will stop. So ultimately, by understanding of these two principles, every problem of your life will be solved. So this is the truth of Vedanta. And conscious creation is about understanding this truth and then understanding the mystery of personality and identity. This is about understanding how the personality that we are is a mask over that consciousness, and basically the type of personality that we have unconsciously created for ourselves is responsible for the personal reality that we are experiencing right now. So, understanding this is understanding conscious creation, and we will go deeper and deeper into this throughout this masterclass. Basically, conscious creation is about understanding the truth of reality, that is the infinitude of self and oneness in all, and then understanding that our personality creates our personal reality. Now, with this, let us get into the conscious creation codex. We will go into a different mind map for this, and in this part, we will get into the core of this masterclass. So this is the conscious creation codex. This is the secret to everything, and if you truly grasp this, you will understand everything there is to this reality, and you will understand how you can radically transform your life forever. Here you need to understand that the goal is contentment. Contentment, fulfillment. This is what all of us seek. Whether a person is after money, whether he's after success, whether he's after relationships, health, etc. This completeness, this fullness, and this Ananda is what each and every one of us seek. And this is the goal. And everything starts with an intention. Whether a person chooses a spiritual path and he becomes a monk, or whether a person chooses the path of entrepreneurship or professional life, everything starts from an intention, from a desire. So the intention is the starting point for the conscious creation codex, and contentment or this completeness or fullness is the end point for Conscious Creation Codex. Now, for the Conscious Creation Codex, there are 9 pillars. At first, there is Brahma, Karma, Dharma, and Marma. Then there is Chitta, Viveka, Kriya, and Samanvaya. And the 9th pillar, which is the final outcome, is Contentment. So these 9 pillars together form the Conscious Creation Codex. This is what we will get into now, and this is what you must grasp. So like I already covered, the first point, the starting point for everything is intention. The reason for you to be in this masterclass or the reason for you to be watching this video is intention. So there is a reason why you chose to watch this masterclass today, right? There is a reason why you came to this today. And that reason is intention. You intended for some outcome within your life and you thought Conscious Creation Codex might help you get there. So everything starts with an intention. Without intention, there is no movement that happens within this manifested universe. And now let us talk about the first pillar. First pillar is Brahma. Now these Sanskrit terms, I use it in a certain way and I will explain to you what each of these terms stand for when it comes to Conscious Creation Codex. So Brahma is the universal principle. Brahma or Brahman in the Upanishads is described as the infinite consciousness. This is the self. This is who you truly are in your essence. This is everything there is to reality. This is existence itself. This sounds very radical when we listen to this for the first time, but this is the ultimate truth. So, Brahman is the infinite consciousness. It is the underlying reality behind and beyond everything. And then the second pillar is karma. Karma is cause and effect. Many of us are familiar with this term, but there is a very deep significance to the concept of karma. Most of the law of attraction teachings and manifestation teachings, I feel, are very superficial because they don't talk about karma. Karma comes from a Sanskrit word kri, which stands for action. And basically, as per Vedanta, each of us have passed through different physical bodies in different lifetimes. This is the concept of rebirth and reincarnation. So, as per Vedanta, the subtle body or Sukshma Sharira passes through different physical bodies as different animals, birds, human beings, etc. And it goes on accumulating memory. It goes on performing actions while being associated with the body and individual identity, and it starts gathering memory and momentum. And this is karma. This is the reason for your existence today. You are the way you are because of your karma. The parents that you have, the family that you're born into, the default personality you're born with, everything is because of karma. But we have the power to take charge at any point in time and transform our life. Then there are the 4 aspects of karma. There is Sanchita karma, Prarabdha karma, Agami karma and Kriyamana karma. This is a very elaborate topic, but basically karma is the memory that each of us carry, and this memory is responsible for our life the way it is right now. And then the third pillar is Dharma. Dharma is about morality, responsibility, purpose, and then sustainability. Morality is simple. Each of us have a moral obligation to this world, to the society, to nature, to our families, etc. So, taking care about the moral responsibilities is Dharma. Basically here, we must understand that we must not do unto others what we ourselves do not wish to experience. So this is the basic law, and this even takes care of the karma also. Then Dharma is also about responsibility. Now each of us play different roles. As a businessman, as a professional, as a teacher, as a student, as a husband, as a wife, as a son, etc. So following these responsibilities and doing the right thing when it comes to each of the roles that we play is Dharma. Then Dharma is also about purpose. This is called Swadharma. Each of us has a innate purpose that is embedded deep within us. Most of us do not discover this because most of us are simply distracted in life, and we make the decisions because of our conditioning, because society expects us to do something, our parents expect us to do something. Because of this, we take unconscious decisions. And once we overcome this, and once we overcome conditioning and find out our deepest passion and our deepest strengths, we will discover our purpose in life. This is Swadharma. And Dharma overall is about sustainability. In the Sanatana Dharma, the word Dharma is described as Dharayate iti Dharma, which translates to that which sustains is Dharma. So, when we follow Dharma, our life becomes sustainable and the entire world becomes sustainable if the entire humanity begins to follow Dharma, which is simply about following morality, responsibility, and purpose. And then the fourth pillar is Marma. Marma is about how our personality creates our personal reality. Here we need to understand that we are in essence infinite. Adiguru Shankaracharya once said, Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva Napara, which translates to Brahman or the infinite consciousness is real, and the world as we perceive it is an illusion. It is simply a matrix or a simulation. And Jiva, which is me as an individual, in my essence is one with that infinite consciousness. This is the key to understand when it comes to conscious creation. So at first we need to understand that our personality and our mind is not who we are. Our mind is simply a bundle of thoughts, feelings, emotions, belief systems, etc. And it is simply a mask over that infinite consciousness. And second, we must realize that however we keep our mind and however we keep our personality, such a kind of a personal reality we will live. So we can literally transform our external reality by transforming our personality and our internal reality. This is why Astavakra says in Astavakra Gita, Yamati Sagati Bhavet. However you keep your mind, such a life you live. Now here we covered one part of the Conscious Creation Codex. Here I want to tell you that there are two parts to Conscious Creation Codex. The first part is the left hand side, which is more about knowing. And the second part is on the right hand side, which is more about being. And whatever is on top, that is intention, is the starting point. And whatever is at the bottom, the Ananda or contentment or completeness or fullness, is the end point. So with that, let us come to the fifth pillar of the Conscious Creation Codex. The fifth pillar is Chitta. Chitta is awareness or conscious hyphenness. This is different from the consciousness or the infinite consciousness that we were talking about earlier. Let me explain you what this is. Now, all of these concepts that I'm discussing are very deep. Here I'm simply giving you an overview of it because we do not have time to get into each of these pillars in great detail here. I'm simply giving you an overview of this, but we need to spend a lot of time to master each of these pillars because each of these pillars by themselves are very, very vast. And the four pillars of Brahma, Karma, Dharma, Marma alone are so deep that even hours and hours of lecture will not be sufficient to cover them and do justice to them. But here we are simply looking at an overview of Conscious Creation Codex to make this a part of our life and to transform our life in some way. So this consciousness is the awareness. This is easy to understand. Now, right now you're watching this masterclass or video and you are aware right now. This masterclass is happening in your awareness. This awareness can be described as Chitta. So this is called reflected consciousness or channeled consciousness or Chidabhasa in Vedanta. So this is not the infinite consciousness, but the infinite consciousness or Brahman is channeled through the instrument of our mind and our ego or ahankara or antakarana, and this becomes reflected or channeled consciousness. And because of this awareness or consciousness, we live our lives. Whatever we do with this awareness. Right now you're watching this video in your awareness. So this is the awareness that you're talking about. This is the fifth pillar. So you need to understand and you need to harness awareness. You need to become more and more aware of the thoughts that go through your mind, of the belief systems that go through your mind, and of the different personality traits or samskaras that you have, which is taking your life in a certain direction. So harnessing awareness and being aware of the unconscious conditioning is the fifth pillar, which is chitta. And then there is the sixth pillar, that is Viveka. Viveka is simply about discernment and clarity. Discerning real from unreal is Viveka. Basically understanding that my awareness or consciousness is the only thing that is real, and it is the only thing that can give me eternal peace and abundance and fulfillment, and all the external things are simply transient in nature and they can never make me truly fulfilled. So understanding this and living our lives according to this is Viveka. And clarity when it comes to Conscious Creation Codex is also about understanding the what, the why, and who. Now imagine your ideal life. Forget about all the restrictions, all the limitations, limitations of resources, money, etc. Just forget about all limitations. And if you could live your life in any way that you can, what would be your ideal life? So this is the what. This you must define for yourself. And then you must understand why you want it. Most of our desires come from conditioning. Most of our goals and expectations from life are derived from societal conditioning, parental conditioning, karmic conditioning, etc. So we must go past that. We must be aware of the conditioning and we must go deeper and find out why we want what we want. This is the why. And third, we must understand who we need to become in order to achieve our goals. So right now, whoever we are as a personality may have some limitations in terms of some negative thinking, in terms of certain limiting beliefs, etc. So we must overcome all of that and we must become our ideal personality in order to live our ideal personal reality. Once we become our ideal personality, our ideal personal reality will naturally manifest in our lives. So understanding this is the sixth pillar. And the seventh pillar is Kriya. Kriya not in a sense how it is used in the schools like yoga, but with respect to Conscious Creation Codex, Kriya simply means practice and action and creation. So there are different tools like meditation, like conscious affirmations and conscious being. There are certain advanced tools that we make use of within the Adhvaitha Conscious Society. So understanding all of these tools and practicing them and living with them is Kriya. So this is the seventh pillar. And the eighth pillar, which is the last pillar, which is in our control, is Samanvaya. Samanvaya is about integration and coordination. Basically understanding the essence of the first four pillars and understanding the importance of the other four pillars and then living our lives in accordance with the Conscious Creation Codex is Samanvaya. Integrating this knowledge into our personality and our life and coordinating our life in accordance with this knowledge is Samanvaya. So Samanvaya is about living in alignment with this truth. And Samanvaya is also about Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga, as many of you might know from Bhagavad Gita, is about surrender and detachment. Shri Krishna says in Gita, Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalahe turbur mate sangotva karmani. So Krishna says you have the right to perform action alone, not to its fruits. Understanding this, there is a very profound truth and there is a very profound secret to Karma Yoga. If we understand Karma Yoga, our life will become a beautiful journey. once we surrender our attachments to our goals, to the outcomes of our goals, to different things in this world, our life will become naturally joyful and we will begin to attain absolute fulfillment. Not only this, once we surrender the detachment to our goals and the outcomes of our goals will naturally come into being and we will naturally manifest our ideal lives. So, this is about Samanvaya. So, like I said, there are a lot of nuances and depth to each of these pillars, and I'm simply giving you the essence of all of these. And then the ninth pillar is Ananda. Once we completely understand these 8 pillars, and once we begin to live our lives in accordance with this, Ananda is a natural outcome. So the ninth pillar is a natural outcome. Now the Conscious Creation Codex is to discover the reality of reality and consciously create a life of holistic abundance and fulfillment. So this is the goal of conscious creation. It is to discover what this reality actually is and consciously create a life of holistic abundance and fulfillment. Holistic abundance is about achieving abundance in all areas of our lives. It is about achieving abundance in wealth, health, relationships, and inner peace. So, this is holistic abundance. And if you look at Conscious Creation Codex, it can be segregated into 4 parts, like I said. The left hand side is about knowing, the right hand side is about being. The top portion is about sankalpa. It is the starting point. It is about the intention to understand this, to transform our life. So there is some kind of intention, right, for anything to happen. That is the starting point. And the bottom part is about Ananda or contentment, which is the natural outcome of all this. So I hope this was valuable to you. And I hope you have got something valuable out of this. This is the most profound truth to this reality that you can understand. And this is the Conscious Creation Codex. Subscribe to Adhvaitha to wake up. Shivoham.